Welcome to Queer Abbey, a weekly chat show that is performed, recorded, and produced by yours truly. Hi, everyone. Donald Trump got elected president. Sorry to start with no trigger warning. But, yeah, we've all been coping with that for a few days now. I'm making some soup. That's how I'm dealing with it. Chicken. Egg noodles. You know, the works. I can't believe that. I went to bed on Tuesday night thinking that Kamala Cop Lady was going to get elected president and that things were going to be like less dire feeling, but no. I don't think I need to explain. And if anybody that's listening to this is like for some reason a Trump supporter, now is the time. Go ahead and log off. You win. Yeah, you know, good for you. I hope that I'm still allowed to be a tranny in a year. We'll see about that. Sorry, I'm just like psychobabble because, yeah, the elephant in the room. I'll try to be functional for you today and get a coherent episode of Queer Abbey together. I have a great musical spotlight waiting for you. And yeah, there's things to be excited about in the future. Not everything is bad. So, yeah. But one thing that is bad is my dryer in my apartment complex. There's 2 dryers and one of them's broken. And so I've been waiting to dry my clothes for like 3 hours. Can you believe that? I bet it's Donald Trump's fault. Asshole. You know who's worse than Trump in my heart is JD Vance. That man's such a fucking freak. No, so is Trump. I can't say he's worse. But they're both just this fucking breed of man that's so vile, so self-assured, and so confident that they know everything. It's really, really annoying. And the fact that those people get handed so much power, that's the only part that's frightening. It's like, I'm not personally frightened of people like that. They honestly, it's just lacking self-fulfillment, lacking personal growth in any capacity. Somebody that's just been told that they're gonna rise to the top their entire life, and so they just, I don't know, do what they're told, basically. That's what JD Vance gives me. Ugh. Silver spoon, mommy's, you know, boy kind of vibes. And then people like that go to like law school and they get jobs in politics and stuff, because those are the people who are convinced that they can and should do those things, that they should have power over other people because they come from a good family or they come from whatever. And that's where the ego trip begins. And now we have the fucking Handmaid's Tale playing itself out in the U.S. government. So that's really great. Not surprising at all. Well, it's not like I ever really enjoyed being a U.S. citizen. I don't know. Of course I enjoy things about my life, but like, I'm not proud of the history of the U.S. It really is just a big genocide. We murdered a bunch of indigenous people and took their land. And now we run the country like a giant prison cell. And you know what? That might sound like a privileged stance to somebody who's like European or something. But like, I don't think people understand how easy it is to fall into the system if you're poor or marginalized in some way. It's fucking hard. It costs money to do everything. It costs money to live, an exorbitant amount of money to pay the rent, an exorbitant amount of money to have teeth, God forbid. And while we might have some good technological advancements in the US and some like quality medical care, I don't know that that's even true all across the board, by the way. it's expensive as hell and people can't even access it. I literally just like go to the dentist minimally, like as much as I can with my free state insurance, which is like not very much. It's like every 6 months, because that's like all they can do, because they have so many other people that they need to help. But like, yeah, the infrastructure is not there. So, okay, I'm not going to go on a long rant about healthcare infrastructure, but like, this country is not set up for people to succeed. We don't have a holistic relationship with food and the earth and medicine or anything that's important for people to actually live good and healthy lives. It's so frustrating. We can't stop ourselves from getting sick or getting in fights or being poor or being homeless. And it's like so frightening. And that's why people are fucking Republicans like that, because they're afraid of starving to death and being cold and these things that are real fears that we all have, but they get manipulated into like, it must be that person's fault. It's because of these fucking blue-haired leftists or these trans people or these people from Portland or whatever. There's a reason that you hear about the same groups of people over and over again, despite the fact that they don't represent the entire population. Like, trans women are not, we don't make up that much of society. Yeah, there's lots of us. We've always been here, but we're just like a part of society. And the Republican Party introducing a ridiculous amount of legislation that has to do with just one small part of society is not them serving the public and the public well-being. It's because it benefits that movement to have a boogeyman. It's a parallel to Nazism, one of the many parallels that you can draw of putting social issues in the context of or just blaming groups of people for social issues. That's what I'm trying to say. It's trans people's fault that we're afraid of sexual assault. But really, that's not the case. Trans women are not out here going into bathrooms and assaulting people. It's just not happening. But what is happening is people are afraid of that. And so they vote. They vote Republican because they believe that these legislators are going to pass laws that will keep them safe, and they'll keep their nice white children. It'll keep them safe from those weird people that look different. And that's a gross oversimplification, but it's not much more complicated than that. I mean, we're just so afraid of our neighbors. We can't even stand to be in proximity to people who don't practice life the same way as us. On the other hand, my soup is really good. I use those colorful carrots. There's yellow ones and purple ones and red ones and even white carrots. I'm trying to get a good bite. How? This is all of a sudden an ASMR podcast. Oh my god, it's really good. Making soup can be such a touchy thing. So easy to put too much salt in there. You just gotta go little at a time. Taste it and put a little more. Taste it and then put a little more. And then it'll probably be delicious. I hope that Donald Trump dies. I hope that he gets a blood clot in his neck this evening, tonight, after I just said that, soon. And J.D. Vance, too. I hope he dies as well. All right. And let's move on to the advice portion of this week's episode. Welcome to the advice portion of this week's episode of Queer Abbey. The first prompt this week says, Queer Abbey, What's the best way to quit an addiction? Been addicted to a lot lately. The way that's typed, it just sounds like such an NPC comment. Been addicted to a lot lately. I feel like someone in Riften would say that to me as I'm on the way to the Thieves Guild. Depends on what it is. I think that some addictions are harder than others to overcome, but at the same time, all addictions are difficult to overcome. There's sometimes a chemical component involved in that, like, there's just no way to think yourself out of wanting to use some substances. Cocaine is one of them that comes to mind. Nicotine is another big one. And even sugar is another big culprit of that. Some substances almost sort of stay with us in our body, and in my head, I think of it like that. I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist, so take this with a grain of salt. But in my brain, I imagine it like Osmosis Jones. Like when I eat certain foods a lot, there's like a culture of little like microbial beings in my stomach, and they're like, yes, the sugar people, delicious. We must increase our numbers, send the signals to the nervous system. And the sucrose army, they're like trying to convince me to eat more sugar, and that's why I'm just like, I need a Snickers bar right now. That's why. But also I think that's true in a way. Like the bacteria or like the cultures that live in our stomach kind of ask for certain things. So I think that's true anyway. It's something that I believe. Like your body asks for what it needs nutrient-wise because it's like almost like a bubbling cauldron that's like seeking equilibrium. It's like, yes, a little bit more of this, a little more of that, a little more fiber, a little bit more vitamin C. You know when you're just craving an orange or something? I'd like to think that there's a colony of little microbial. Yes, more citrus. Yeah. Osmosis Jones is a great film. Oh my God, I went way off track. Sorry, my brain is scrambled from current events and school. Quitting addictions. I've quit some difficult addictions. I stopped smoking cigarettes like 2.5 years ago. And no, not 2.5, a year and a half ago. Yeah. And I stopped using nicotine altogether, like at the beginning of this year. So basically, not this last January, but the one before that, I gave up cigarettes as my like New Year's resolution or whatever, because it was just a good time to do that. And then the next year, I gave myself a year of vaping, and I used those disposable flavored vapes, and oh my God, do I miss it every single day. But I haven't used nicotine since January of this 2024. So the way that I did it was I was already miserable. Both times that I decided to sacrifice these substances, I was just, I don't know what it is, but around New Year's, I feel like I'm always going through some shitty thing. And I don't know why that works for me, but it does. I'll almost I'll leave a habit behind with a person or with a chapter of my life. You know what I mean? Like when I can really feel a chapter closing is when I can almost leave a part of myself behind. That is the most fucking Taylor Swift, Sesame Street, hokey pokey motherfucking answer ever, but like, it's true. Like, I was able to leave cigarettes behind because I needed them at the time, but then I wanted my breath to be fresh because I had a boyfriend and I wanted to kiss him. And so I kind of like stayed behind in that chapter of my life. And I told myself that I would just start smoking as soon as I got a terminal diagnosis. If I know that I'm going to die and it's within like 10 years, I'm smoking again. Like that's there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. I love how it feels to smoke a cigarette. It literally feels so good. But it's so bad for your voice and your health, and it smells bad. So that's why I stopped. Okay, I have more advice. I'm just rambling about this one, but I think that this might be helpful to someone out there. In order to quit something, you must figure out what it's doing for you. So for the smoking, I got a bunch of gum as soon as because like the vaping was a really obvious substitution for smoking cigarettes. It's even worse too, because you can do it inside, anywhere, fucking on the hillside, in the classroom, the schoolhouse, the play, the opera. You'd be hitting you're trying to get a felony on a plane, hitting your watermelon flavored vape in the bathroom. Seriously, it's a problem. But I got a bunch of gum. I'm really fond of like orange flavored Trident or bubble gum, and that oral fixation, finding something, because I need something to distract me. It's almost like a stim, you know? Or like I spin my ring a lot. That's something that I can do when I feel that nervous energy, when I would normally want to like go hit my vape. So yeah, I identified what some of the things that this habit was accomplishing for me. What was it doing for my body? How was it? What? Oh my God, my hair clip fell. What were the cigarettes doing for me? That's what I had to figure out. And then I could fill that need a different way. So you can do the same thing. Yeah, find the need that is sorely open. It's being missed, that you need to fill, and fill it. My child, go fill your needs. Okay, cool. Let's do another one. I keep having extremely disturbing dreams, and I can't sleep. I don't know what to do. Like the caption says, I've been having extremely disturbing dreams, and it's really messing me up. I have, of course, gone to Google to see why, but all I get is that I have anxiety or depression or some type of past trauma, but I don't have any of that. I just have terrible dreams. I don't even know if I can go into detail on, but do the best that you can. Okay, well. You're having intense dreams? Dreams are a part of you. It's not some separate thing, you know? It's easy to fragment certain parts of our life and go, oh, okay, well, that's just, those are just dreams. Well, there's a reason that you have every single dream that you have ever had. You may not know what that reason is. No one might know what that reason is, but there is a reason. It's some sort of physiological response, right? It's a combination of external and internal factors, a reflection of your experience in life. And that's why I think dreams are so important. It's our subconscious reality, which is the most unexplored part of our life. We don't ever really make time to let the subconscious blossom forth. But dreams are the one time that we have no control. We almost lose the reins of our own body. And then our subconscious gets to like come out and play at night in this phantasmical, light show in your brain. So, bitch, you probably do have anxiety or depression, okay? You can't just be saying, I don't have those things. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but like if you're having these intense dreams that suggest that you're anxious, well, girl, you're probably anxious because your emotions are telling you what's going on in your body. It's not the other way around. You don't get to say, oh, I don't have this emotion. We all experience a range of emotions, a huge range of them all the time. And whether or not we choose to be in tune with them, that's where we find people that are emotionally healthy and emotionally unhealthy. Tap into your emotions. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore your dreams. Let your emotions guide you towards your truth. I sound really fucking preachy today, so I'm going to go ahead and call that a wrap, okay? Good luck with your weird dreams, okay? For a closing thought on this one, I've also been having weird dreams lately, so maybe it's not even anything to do with what I just said. I could be completely wrong. Maybe the world is ending, and you are the only one that knows it. Chicken Little style. Just saying. All right, yep, that's all. Let's move on to the musical spotlight for this week. Dun, dun, dun! Welcome to the final segment of tonight's episode, or this morning, or whenever you're listening. If you want to be featured on Queer Abbey, as always, there will be an anonymous submission link that's just hanging out right in the description of this episode. If you're listening on any of the major podcast apps, you can go ahead and locate that in the description, click on it, and you can send me an anonymous question, query, comment, whatever you want, really. I'll probably respond to it on the podcast unless it's really, unless you write something really stupid, then I probably won't. But yeah. We also have an email inbox. It's queerabby@gmail.com. That's QUEERABBEY@gmail.com. And we even have a phone number where you can text us, leave us a voicemail. Sorry, that was gross. It's 503-567-2053. So, fuck yeah, party time. Wayne's World. Let's get into this musical spotlight, you guys. This is going to be a sonic treat, a reprieve from the nightmare that this last 5 days has been for me. This is going to be a song by Slipper Elm, or also known as Elm or Lucas, a classmate of mine and a friend that is just a lovely musician and songwriter. They've released this single on Bandcamp, and it is called In Pursuit. They've described their sound as scorny to me, which is a mashup of words, scary and horny. And I think that you'll enjoy how sweet, melancholy, languid, and blossoming this sound is. It starts off with just a vocal and then truly blossoms into this really, really awesome sonic atmosphere. It's a longer song. I think it clocks around like 4 or 5 minutes. And I'm going to show you the entire thing because I love how it progresses into this symphonic, lush sort of texture. So, without too much further ado, let's just get right into this musical spotlight. This is In Pursuit by Slipper Elm.
No one to be set in your lap. I smell it high. Your lips, your arms grab the back. This path desires wide. On the bed like a grave now. Carry me out like a plane within. Lift me up to a dance. Take me to what you wanted back. Get and get up to bed. Do what you want. Take me to tunes slow on hills, toes, ground, turf, music in the town.
You guys, oh God, it's so witchy, so good. I love it. I hope that you guys appreciate Slipper Elm and their lovely musical creation as much as I do. You can find the link to their Bandcamp right in the episode description, right above that anonymous submission link. Please go check them out and follow them, because I'm sure that they'll have other creative endeavors to share with you in the future. But for now, you've got this really beautiful song to listen to, In Pursuit. I love all of the choices that they made. The way that it's layered and the way that it builds upon itself is so well done. It's not annoying. It's not cliche. I'm not expecting any of the things that are coming, but also it's not annoying and like trying to reinvent the wheel kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, we've got this just beautiful looping guitar playing, simple chords, but this haunting vocal paired with that sort of hollow, sweet sounding guitar. And I keep going towards the word blossom because it really does blossom with the other string sounds and the more atmospheric kind of touches to the mixing. Yeah. Amazing work, Elm. Lucas, you're a star. In the midst of all of these nasty, dark things happening, it's lovely to remember that there are stars around us that illuminate our lives, I've got lovely people that I go to school with. I've got all of these talented people. What is this? I think the 24th episode of this show. And that means that I've had probably, because I've done a couple of interviews and I featured myself a couple of times, so like 18 or 19 different people that I've been able to find just in my immediate vicinity that make this beautiful fucking music. So that's something that I can celebrate, at least. Okay. I love you all. Please be safe. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself right now, okay? And don't forget about Bofa. Bofa these nuts.